What's going on, everyone? Thank you for coming back to watch another fastest lap video. This time I want to do a little bit something different. I'm going to give you guys a nice breakdown of kind of everything that brought together this fast lap, and then the fastest lap video is going to be at the very end of that. So a nice full breakdown and analysis of kind of what's going through my head or kind of how everything came together, and then the lap at the very end. So hope you guys enjoy. If you enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all those things, and feel free to share this with everybody. I want to bring some more traffic to the channel for people who are interested in maybe getting to start track days, as well as maybe help you guys along as well that are kind of already in the world of tracking and doing all these track days and all that stuff. So feel free to share, like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, so here we are coming over the top of the hill, going into turn one, letting off the throttle right about here, kind of carrying it in, and then resuming that throttle, carrying it all the way out. Under the bridge starts our lap. So here we go, keeping it all the way to the wide left, and then right at that orange barrier, just giving nice and hard on the brakes, easing out, and bringing it to the inside as we pick up that throttle again. So we'll step it back here for a second, rolling up to that orange block, getting nice and hard on those brakes. And it's actually not that hard. It's actually a nice squeeze. I'd say probably about like 30 to 50%. And holding it there for a second, a nice quick downshift, and then we're carrying all the speed into the corner. So on my speedometer, we're going about 80 miles an hour or so. So really carrying all that speed down in here. I think I kissed that curve a little bit, but really want to try and stay off of it. Then letting the car all the way out to the left, or middle to center preferred, but when you're carrying all that speed, it comes in pretty quick. And then we're hugging the hill as we're going around here. You can be kind of a little bit more mid-center. So that's why it's important back here, where if the car goes out wide, you're kind of in it already. So you kind of have to try and get it back to the middle of the circuit. You don't want to go too far right, but you want to prepare yourself for entry into this next one. So I kind of kept it a little bit inside. Probably could have gained, maybe another 10th or so, but at the end of the day, with the conditions, it was pretty hot. So I was lucky that I was able to get all this out of it. So as these rumble strips start, kind of pointing the car in a straight line, preparing for turn 3 here. So roll it back, show you at speed, nice and firm on the brakes, downshift, and then kissing that curb, letting it all the way out. Hugging this, I do a nice kind of early upshift here, a short shift, because the car is a little bit more stable around here and don't have to worry about the car getting unbalanced and in a lower gear because it's a higher RPM. So then we're setting ourselves up here, off throttle in a straight line. That's super important because you want the car to settle before you start adding any turn in. So we slow the car down here just by coming off throttle, letting the weight settle onto the nose so the car is balanced, and then we start our turn in, bringing it in. As soon as we start bringing it in, we can start squeezing back on the throttle, hugging this hugging that S to the left. And as we go around to the left, we kind of want to go a little bit more after the rumbles there. So we're hugging it just a little bit more after we pass, so then we can bring ourselves back over in a straight line here. I'll let you guys see it at speed. And then nice and straight line brake there. Downshift again for me, and then for the majority, and then using up a lot of the track here. So carrying a lot of speed through there, so you're able to run all the way off, not all the way, but a nice good 2 wheels on there. And then for me right here, just before the 300 board, nice and firm on the brake, a downshift, and bringing all that speed in. Then getting on power early, letting it out. So this one could be a tricky one for sure. So coming out of this guy here, bring all that speed in, able to get on power pretty early, bringing it all the way out, a nice braking straight line here, nice and firm. Just slow the car down, but you want to try and use up the majority as you can to the left. So probably don't want to get onto those rumble strips on the outside. It could unsettle the car. So nice and close, nibble on them a little bit if you can, kind of waiting on that apex. Then bring it in, and this, with my gearing, is a third gear corner, but sometimes people can get down into second. The whole goal, though, is to make sure that you are maximizing your speed into this corner. So for me, it was a third gear corner and trying to take all that speed through. And then letting it wind out. You can nibble on those guys. You don't want to use too much because then it's you might be losing some time out there. We're going to speed this up because we're going down the backstretch here. Super quick. As we approach the hill here at the 300 board for us, nice and firm on the brakes, down into third gear, I believe here, clipping the apex there, clipping it through 10B, letting it out, nibbling on the outside. So through here, absolutely crucial for car placement. So for me, kind of ideal, and what I will coach people is center of the car to the red square. And then down at the bottom, you can start kind of seeing the pit in dotted lines on the right-hand side. If you kind of kiss those or nibble on them a little bit with the right side tires, you know you're on course pretty much the right direction. If you are kind of too far inside of those, you can kind of spit yourself out the hill, maybe more centered on the track. But if you are outside of those dotted lines on the right-hand side, then it's probably not a good idea. You probably didn't set yourself up at the red square on the bridge. So nibble on those a little bit on the right-hand side, and then you should be all good to spit yourself out down the hill. So red square here, nibbling on those lines, and you have a straight shot out. Off throttle, carrying in speed, and then resuming early right before you apex there, and that's a full lap.